Alright, everybody, welcome back to Return of the Obra Dinn. Let's see, it's been a couple hours. So we are looking at part 8. Let's see if we can get down into the cargo deck. Yes, so we can head down here. And actually, this is the Orlop deck. This is not the cargo deck. So we still can't quite make it all the way down because the other way would be right here. So we got to have a situation where somebody opens that for us. So the next thing we need to look at is in the port walk. We'll go to part 7 instead of the final part. So we're going to walk around this way and back here. You can already see the flies. Not sure what the flies are. I mean, this body is well decomposed at this point, so I'm not sure what these flies are doing, but, you know. Dun dun! Alright, well, so this is an interesting little section, actually, because we're stuck kind of outside the main body of the ship, and you can see that all kinds of crazy nonsense is taking place in here, but we can't really get a look at a lot of these people. This guy is that dude right there, so he's one of the stewards. And he has been, let's see if I can find the right spot. I thought at first he had been spiked, but he has been shot. You can actually see the kind of line from the bullet right there. I don't know. That guy. Okay. The guy right in the middle there is the one that shot him. And I can't highlight him from here. But that's how he went. So we got to figure out the rest of it later on. Soldiers of the Sea. Alright, so we know that this guy is an unknown steward. We don't know which one. Actually, wait a minute. Is this Zonky? This might be. That guy looks kind of Indian. We're going to mark him as being the ship steward, which I'm not 100% sure is correct, but he looks Indian, so we'll call it that for right now. And what happened to him, he's been shot by a gun, but we don't know who by. So we'll leave that on him for right now. Alright. And then this highlights another body way down here. I don't understand still at this point what that guy was doing out here. Like, if that ever gets kind of explained or shown, I don't know what the deal is. So I see this guy's face through the wall, and now we'll be able to actually approach him. But yeah, if there's ever an explanation for what he's doing out here, so far I have missed it. So maybe we'll piece that together at some point. And this poor bastard has been nailed to the wall. Alright, so this is our guy right here, and he's busy being dead. This guy, now are we able to... No, he's still fuzzy. This is the doctor that's holding him up, although despite plenty of evidence, I think, to that, we haven't managed to nailed down his identity yet. And then, let's see, I can't go upstairs. We've got this guy throwing water on this spider creature. These two folks over here, and I think that's it. So this guy... Let's see who these two are. Him again. And that guy, who... We'll be able to identify him pretty soon. And then there's a body here also. That guy right there. Alright, so the game still doesn't think we can identify him. I don't necessarily buy that. I think we talked about that a little bit. But he has been spiked. And he was automatically spiked by a terrible beast. I don't need to choose one. So that's what happened to him. And there's no real dialogue in here that's going to help us any. Let's see. I don't think... Let me make sure that I can't... No, we still cannot identify this man. So we'll get him sooner or later. Now we get to go to this guy. I think actually, yeah, it's going to loop around. And it gives us the corpse of the creature and this guy. So I think it actually says that they died together. Oh no. You know, this doesn't look good at all. So here's this guy. He's on fire. That's not good for him. You don't ever want a situation where you've set a fire on a boat. And I want to actually, let's see, this one, let's see, we got two more bodies over here. We got these two guys reacting to something going on over here. He's coming running. These two are coming down. He's already spiked to the wall. That guy. Now, actually, you know what I've never done is... So wait, did he crawl around? I should come back and look for him. Is this the guy that we just identified a minute ago? I think it is. So he gets spiked and then tries to get away is what ends up happening. Alright, who is this? We don't know who he is yet. We do know that he has been burned. We're all very sorry for him. And yeah, I'm going to have to watch him because I bet in subsequent... No, because we're actually going backwards in time, so he's going to stay right here. We might see him catch a spike in the next sequence, though. And it's going to send us to one of these two bodies over here now, I think. Yeah. Both of them. Actually, important thing to notice here, their heads are detached from their bodies. As that wanders off. Actually, no, we're back in regular boat time right now, so it's adding the bodies. Ugh, Terrible sound. All right. So they've both got pinchers around their necks right now. So that's this guy and this guy. I think initially I wrote them as, or recorded them as having been torn apart, but that is not what has happened. They've been decapitated. And he's throwing the fire. He's throwing the lantern that's going to set it on fire. Is this my guy? Yeah, it's my dude wandering off with the spike in him, so we haven't seen him get spiked yet. And then he's shooting upstairs at another one. Another guy nailed to the wall over here. There's just all kinds of crap going on right now. These two back here. And again, this is not the Kraken. This is like a whole new terrifying disaster that's happened to this unbelievably unfortunate ship. Alright, so for both of them then, you've got to make sure, because decapitated is its own entirely separate thing. So you've got to say that they're decapitated by a terrible beast. Because, yeah, I had that wrong for a while because I had them as torn apart because I didn't notice that their heads were off. But, indeed, their heads are off. So, let's see. Let's go ahead and trigger that. And now this guy is our next victim. We will get to this skull on the wall in a bit, by the way. Not this episode, I don't think, but... Okay, now is that gonna... Yeah. And let's go around here. Bum, bum. Okay, so a couple things that we just learned. Let's actually look at the dialogue. And can we not? We can't do it yet. So let's look at these two guys then. We got this guy, who is kind of crouched. This guy, who is taking a couple spikes to the chest, and who is throwing an axe. And it's told us that it's already done for Nick. So somebody named Nick is already dead. There's a third beast up here now. And let's see, is there anything else? This guy is just... Actually, is that... yeah, that's Lars. Lars has no idea what's going on. These two guys kind of hiding back here. And then I can't go further down because I can't get past it. But... So we've learned a fair amount of information. Alright, so what's going on? Come on, boss, and hey, catch. So this guy is calling the dude behind him boss. We're going to hold on to that piece of information for just a minute. Right now, we know how he died. He was spiked by a terrible beast. He is blurry, and so I think like literally in the next section we'll be able to identify him. But the main thing to remember is he just called him boss. So this, no doubt, is Nick. I'll go ahead and get out of here ahead of the smoke of death. Oop. So if you hit X twice, you can interrupt that, which I've never really wanted to do, but, you know. Alright, so two things to notice. One, this guy is falling. Two, this has got to be Nick, because Nick is getting speared right now. So, and we'll take another look at all of these guys in a second. Let's go. Actually, let's count them real quick. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys down here, plus the dude who is falling. Because I actually think I'm going to show you something a little bit early just to make things a little bit easier. Alright, and the game has admitted that we have to be able to figure out who he is. So this man... Actually, what happened to him? He was... I may have to look at it again. This is Nick, so we're looking for somebody named Nicholas. There he is. He's a topman. And I don't remember, was he speared? I think he was speared. Alright, so Nick was speared by a terrible beast. Nick is a topman. And... yeah, that's a spear. Okay, so what I want to do real quick is partially identify all of these guys who are on the ground. If we look at this list, come down here to the bottom, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 topmen. Not topmen, I'm sorry, that's not what we want. Seamen. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've got a bunch of them. These guys here are all seamen. Seamen do the lifting on these types of boats, and I'm gonna go ahead. It'll be real clear next scene what they are. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna designate all of these guys unknown seamen. It's not what I wanted to shoot. Well, alright then, I can't back out of this, so... is it you? Are you the body? Yes, you're the body. I guess I'll do it later once I can prove it. Alright. So, hit that. And splat. This is one of the most obvious deaths in the entire game. Boom! So here's our buddy, right here. Obviously this man was electrocuted. Now the reason that we knew that all those guys were seamen is that they're all down here hauling on a rope. And that's every single one of those dudes that I was just about to go through and identify. So they're all down there doing their jobs. Those are the remaining seamen. All of these guys up here are topmen. And this guy obviously has been electrocuted. So that guy's a topman, that guy's a topman. This dude here, remember the one that was flying away a minute ago, like flying off into space? That's him. He's already fallen and hit the rope, or hit the rigging, and at some point he's going to get tossed into the ocean. And then we've got a few more up here. So we got a little bit of work to do in a surprisingly small amount of space for right now. But so if they're up in the rigging, they're topmen. So this guy was electrocuted. And really? Part of the problem is that most of the top men are Chinese, and the game never really gives you a way to tell which one is which. So at some point, we're going to have to kind of do a little bit of process of not process of elimination. What's the phrase I want? We have to keep checking back and forth to eventually figure out who all of them are. So this guy is already dead. Here's another one of the Chinese gentlemen. Interesting that it thinks we can identify him specifically. So he's an unknown topman. Can I identify you now? No. Weird. I don't know why the game thinks I should know who he is. This fella over here. It's hard to get him, but if you... work at it enough, eventually he'll light up. Come on. Alright, well, let's get the rest of them. Again, don't know exactly who he is, but we'll call him an unknown topman. Got this guy, who is also an unknown topman. And this guy. Unknown topman. One thing worth pointing out, actually, now that we've started doing that, and I'll make this clearer when I'm able to... What's happening? Can I get him from up here? No? There we go. Okay, this is our guy in the turban, and he's actually able to identify. So we know who he is. We know he's a topman, and we know he's a Persian because of the turban. So we can go ahead and identify him. We don't... Actually, I think he drowned. Fell overboard, actually. Yeah. Alright, so that's Jane Bird, Nicholas, and Omid Gul. Alright, let's back out of the book again. There's still this fella over here who's on the rigging. Can I get him to light up? Maybe I can't. All right, we'll go ahead and walk out. Okay, so this is the guy who fell then, and again, actually what we'll do, who was the corpse? Was it you? Yeah, okay. We're going to back up one step. So that's Nicholas again, who's busy getting... Oh, you know what? And that would have been him on the rigging just then, because Nicholas is a topman, isn't he? Yes. I meant to point this out. Notice that all the topmen are sitting together, or at least all the guys that we know are topmen. This guy will probably turn out to be one. But that's important just to, notice, because, proximity in all these paintings, everything is important. I was going to go through and make sure that these guys were all marked as seamen. Yes. Okay. Actually, I want to look at something real quick. Yeah, we've also got 4 Indian seamen as well, so don't really have a whole lot of help on him just yet. That is Mr. Brennan. Wait, only one of you can be Mr. Brennan. Okay, that's this guy. This guy's not Mr. Brennan. But he's a seaman. And now this guy... So there's 3 people on the ship who are identifiably black. There's Hamadou Dione, who is Sierra Leone, and then there are 2 others. And I think this guy is Hamadou. No, you know what? Because this ended up being... We're going to make him an unknown seaman for right now. So we've got this guy, and this guy, who are all identifiably black, which makes it a little easier to figure out who they are, because one of them has to be the guy from Sierra Leone. But we don't have quite enough information right now. Now, the other thing I need to do... I want to check on something. Gun deck, orlop deck. This is why, by the way, this game wouldn't have made a very good Let's Play, because for a whole lot of this, I was just kind of staring at things and thinking out loud. So... Soldiers of the Sea Part 4. And then we moved up to the gun deck, and this is where that guy got killed. Part 2 and Part 1 were both up here. Maybe that wasn't this section. Alright, we're just going to keep going. I may be misremembering a part of this involving those 2 guys, but we'll figure it out later. So we just did Soldiers of the Sea. The next section is Unholy Captives. And that is going to start on the cargo deck. So we're heading down that way anyway. This is the gun deck. This is the orlop deck. And if I remember correctly, I think I have to open some doors, but let's actually, no. This might be a sequence break, I don't remember, but let's take a look. I love those 2 sentences back to back. Alright, so we got a lot going on here. First thing is that we can... this guy is missing part of his leg. You'll notice here there's a sword on the ground. And this is the captain, right? Yeah. Captain is yelling at this guy who's being dragged off while everybody else here attends to that guy. So we finally can do some IDing for some of these folks. And is it going to go ahead? Let's just actually get started. So this guy, come on. There we go. No. Oh wait, no, that is the ship steward. Okay, this guy is the one I want. Can finally officially identify him, well, at least we will be able to, as the ship's doctor. But it's going to make us wait a minute. Alright, so this guy, we don't know who he is yet, but we know that he was killed with a sword, despite it being a leg. Getting your leg cut off with a sword still counts as getting killed with a sword. And we know who did it, because we heard Witterell say first... actually, did he say steward or did he say mate? He said mate, right? You know what, we're not going to look just now. We'll check the dialogue. 20 years my steward and never a doubt in your sanity. Okay. So he was killed by the captain's steward, who is Philip Dahl from Sweden. And we don't know his name yet, so we got to back out. And now let's see if we can put some names on some of these guys. How are you still telling me that I don't know that this is the doctor? This is absolutely the doctor. Shut up. And I want to say that this guy... No, okay. I know who that is. So this is the captain. This guy standing back here, just kind of minding his own business. We don't... Oh, we do know. This is Klestel. Okay. That's the bosun. And this guy is one of the random seamen. And I think I can loop around this way just to see who this is standing here. It's obviously... Well, let's make sure. Yeah, this is Mr. Hoskett. So I almost blamed him for the wrong thing. So we got the first mate down here too. And... we can go up the stairs, so let's do that. So this guy is holding these two back. Got this. Something's going on. They're bringing a stretcher over. We just got all kinds of nonsense happening up here, don't we? We'll get sent up here in a second anyway, I think. Alright. So the next body is this guy here. Man, let's find out what happened to you. Alright. So, drama. Got some folks running over. Main thing to notice is that they are carrying something down the stairs. We've got... Oh, okay. This guy, notice, has a hammer in his hand. This is who I was looking for a few minutes ago. And this guy has a saw. These are the carpenters. This guy called this guy boss. So we will be officially naming them in a minute. But the body is this poor gentleman who has fallen down the stairs. We can't name him just yet, but we can definitely give him a death. And then there's more craziness happening upstairs. So yeah, we got some stuff on this one. All right, part 3 of Unholy Captives. All right, now another just little bit of choosing the right thing here. This guy fell down the stairs. Initially, I had him, I think, as being crushed. We don't know. Actually, really, you can probably safely describe him as one of the seamen. Because, again, he's carrying things, and that's the job that the seamen have, is they do the grunt work. But we definitely don't know which of the various Indian men he is. So we've got him. Now we're going to come back and we're going to go ahead and name these guys. Notice now he's not blurry anymore, so we can actually say who he is. So this is Winston Smith, who is the carpenter. And this guy in here, because again, remember, when we looked at the text earlier, this guy was calling the other guy boss. So this is the carpenter's mate. And I want to check something real quick, actually. So right now, if we look at these names, we've got Alive in Africa for Henry Evans, Spiked for Marcus Gibbs. That's 2. Everybody else should have either... Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the opportunity, since we've got 2 guys definitely, we're going to take the opportunity to brute force our way to this guy's name. So he is Indian, and he is a seaman, so he is Renfred? Nope. He is Abraham. Nope. He's William. Aha! He's William. All right, close the book. And can we tell anything about any of these other guys? Don't really think we can. That's the purser. We still don't know what happened to him. That's the artist. That's this guy who we'll identify eventually, and everybody else is just kind of falling down the stairs. This guy, if we want to, we've already called him a seaman. Okay, so that'll be it. And then we got another body right there. I really would love to know, like, how much time is supposed to have elapsed in all of this. Can you now? All right, so my head straight up here. Yeah, we got all sorts of stuff going on in this one. So main thing is, here's the dead guy. He's sitting right there, and he has been whacked in the face with a tail, is what's killed him. These 2 are the ones that are about to fall down the stairs. We got this guy who's running away. I feel like this dude spends a lot of time running away. And they think we should be able to identify him too. Interesting. That guy. And then we got a couple of stewards standing here. Actually, do I have time to... Yeah, we'll do it in a minute. Okay, so let's look at the dialogue again. Remember, the X is the person who died. So he said, hey there, what's this? Give them to me and I can fry us a solid meal. Who's going to fry a solid meal? The cook. So we know his fate also. Was he struck by a tail? Is how he died. So Mr. Sefton is done. And let's see who else we can at least partially identify here. That guy is one of the Peters boys. Interesting that it seems like it wants us to be able to tell which one it is. This guy doesn't have any kind of identification, so he's obviously a seaman because he's carrying stuff. So we'll go ahead and put that on him. These two are both stewards. Oh, cha! So yeah, if you hit X, it automatically brings you into this mode, and you guys know how often I hit the wrong buttons. Anyway, we got two more corpses up here. We can go back and get those guys later. It's no big deal. Alright, so this is where the trouble starts. They're bringing something up from this boat. They're bringing that chest up. And then this thing is spiking away at people. So we've got that guy dead. We've got bodies over here, too. We got everybody, other people just standing around because the drama just now started. Can I get downstairs? I can't. And again, any of these guys that I haven't already declared to be seamen have got to be, because the seamen do all the hard work. So we just got a big old mess on our hands. There's the doctor again. Alright, so both of these guys were spiked. And I think that other... Oh, wow, it went straight through him. Okay, so this is both of them that are dead. Let's pop over here real quick. I'm just curious to see... So now it's okay with us knowing that's the surgeon. And I think this guy with the bag next to him... I'm going to give it a shot and see if he pops, and then I might just mark him something else, because I think this guy is the surgeon's mate. Let's leave it for right now. That might be wrong. Make sure these guys are all marked as seamen. He is. He is. That's Lars. That's William. Oh, yeah, because some of these guys are about to be taken off of their... You know what? Let's see if we can figure out which one he is, because I think if we... No, because we don't know his fate yet. That's Hoskett. That guy's also a seaman. That's Parrot. Okay. Got those two, and then that's Klestel. This is the dude down at the bottom, yeah. This is the guy who was doing the translating. And the dude who was... Okay, we can't figure him out with... You know what? Yes, we can. Because I think we've got two right now. So let's do some guessing. Let's see. Bingo. First one. And again, I'll say this over and over again, anytime that happens, pop back to the table of contents, look at the list of the crew, and check anybody who you have all three things for, because if you do after one of those, you know those are wrong. So far, everything that we don't have in type is listed as unknown in some way. So, all right, all good there. I think that's all we've got for right now. Actually, who's this guy? We figured this dude out? That's the captain. All right. So, that's going to be it. This is going to take us straight into the next section. Okay, so the next thing will start the next section, so before we hit the button, we're actually going to go ahead and call this an episode. We'll pick up from here next time. So just like always, if you're having fun, leave a like, leave a subscribe, tell your friends. I'm going to see you soon with more. As always, thank you for watching. We will be back.